The Odyssey is out in theaters, and Christopher Nolan may have just attempted the impossible, turning one of the oldest stories ever told into one of the biggest cinematic experiences of the modern era. The Odyssey is an ambitious, visually spectacular, and emotionally powerful epic that proves Christopher Nolan is one of the few filmmakers willing to take a massive creative swing in an era dominated by established franchises. The movie is not flawless, and its enormous scale occasionally comes with moments where the emotional storytelling feels less powerful than the spectacle surrounding it. But when Nolan's vision comes together, The Odyssey feels like exactly the kind of movie audiences go to theaters hoping to experience. A huge part of the film's appeal is also its extraordinary ensemble cast, with Matt Damon leading the film as Odysseus alongside Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, Jon Bernthal, Lupita Nyong'o, Zendaya, and Charlize Theron. That lineup creates an enormous amount of anticipation, and fortunately, the performances give the movie the star power and dramatic weight needed to support its epic scale. It is grand, serious, visually breathtaking, and built around a timeless story that still has the power to connect with modern audiences. Based on Homer's ancient epic, The Odyssey follows the legendary journey of Odysseus as he attempts to return home after the Trojan War. The story has survived for thousands of years because beneath the monsters, gods, battles, and mythology is a deeply human story about home, identity, loyalty, sacrifice, and the consequences of a long journey. That gives Christopher Nolan an enormous challenge because audiences already know the basic story, meaning the movie cannot rely solely on surprise. Instead, it has to make the journey feel fresh, immersive, and emotionally meaningful. With Nolan's reputation for practical filmmaking, massive scale, complex storytelling, and theatrical spectacle, The Odyssey feels like the kind of project that was specifically designed to be experienced on the biggest screen possible. But the film's appeal is not just Nolan's name. One of the biggest reasons this movie generated so much anticipation is the ensemble cast, with Matt Damon in the central role of Odysseus, Anne Hathaway as Penelope, Tom Holland as Telemachus, Robert Pattinson as Antinous, Lupita Nyong'o, Zendaya, and Charlize Theron all bringing major star power to the world of Homer's epic. The biggest success of The Odyssey is its sheer cinematic ambition, but the film's extraordinary cast is a major reason that ambition works as well as it does. Matt Damon gives the movie a strong center as Odysseus, bringing the kind of physical presence and emotional authority that the role demands, while making the character feel more than simply a legendary warrior. Anne Hathaway brings emotional weight to Penelope, giving the story's idea of home a human presence that makes Odysseus's journey feel more meaningful. Tom Holland also brings an important contrast as Telemachus, allowing the film to explore the consequences of Odysseus's absence through the perspective of someone who has grown up without his father. The supporting ensemble is equally impressive, with Robert Pattinson, Lupita Nyong'o, Zendaya, and Charlize Theron each adding a different energy to this enormous world. The excitement surrounding this cast could easily have become a distraction, but the performances generally work because the actors understand that they are contributing to a larger epic rather than competing for attention. Nolan understands how to make scale feel meaningful, and the world of Homer's epic gives him an enormous canvas to work with. The environments, battles, mythical encounters, and sense of adventure create a visual experience that feels grand without becoming completely detached from the human story at its center. The film also benefits from the timeless strength of its source material. Odysseus is not simply a warrior trying to win another battle. He is a man trying to find his way home while being tested physically, emotionally, and morally. That gives the film a powerful foundation, and when Nolan focuses on the emotional meaning behind the journey, the spectacle becomes far more impactful. Ultimately, the film works best when it combines the ancient mythology with the modern cinematic language Nolan has spent his entire career developing. Even though The Odyssey is an impressive achievement, its greatest weakness is that its enormous ambition can occasionally work against its emotional impact. Nolan has always been a filmmaker more interested in ideas, structure, scale, and concepts than traditional sentimentality, and that approach will not work equally well for every viewer. There are moments where the movie's spectacle feels more powerful than the characters themselves, and some emotional beats may not land with the same force as the film's larger cinematic moments. The sheer size of the story also creates the challenge of giving every important character and relationship enough time to develop, which means that even a cast this talented cannot always receive the depth audiences might expect from such a star-studded ensemble. The film's famous cast can sometimes create a strange tension as well. When you see an actor as recognizable as Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland, or Robert Pattinson, part of the audience may inevitably be aware of the star behind the character. The movie generally overcomes that challenge, but the sheer number of major performers means some supporting characters can feel more like fascinating glimpses than fully developed people. When you're adapting an epic that spans an enormous journey and includes so many legendary elements, certain parts can inevitably feel less developed than others. None of this destroys the movie, but it does prevent the Odyssey from becoming completely flawless. The film is at its strongest when the spectacle and emotion work together, and slightly weaker when one begins to overpower the other. What makes the Odyssey so interesting is that the story has survived for thousands of years because its central question is still completely relevant. After everything you've experienced, can you still find your way back home? That question gives Nolan an opportunity to explore ideas that appear throughout his filmography, including time, memory, sacrifice, identity, and the consequences of a person's choices. That journey of Odysseus can be understood as more than just a physical adventure. It's a story about a man being transformed by everything he experiences and discovering that returning home doesn't necessarily mean returning to the person he was before he left. That's where the movie becomes more than just a collection of mythical creatures and spectacular set pieces. The journey itself becomes a test of identity. What does a person lose while pursuing glory? What does it take to survive years of hardship? And when the journey finally ends, can home still feel like home? Nolan's approach gives these ancient questions a modern cinematic scale, and the ensemble cast strengthens that idea by allowing the story to explore the different people affected by Odysseus's journey. This is not only the story of one man trying to return home, it's also the story of the people waiting for him, searching for him, opposing him, and being changed by the consequences of his choices. That combination of ancient questions, modern filmmaking, and a cast capable of giving those ideas a human weight is one of the film's greatest strengths. The biggest strength of the Odyssey is its ability to make cinema feel like an event again. This is the kind of movie that demands to be seen on the biggest screen possible, not simply because it is visually large, but because the scale is part of the experience. The film embraces the idea that a theatrical movie should transport audiences somewhere they can't go in their everyday lives. Combined with the timeless emotional foundation of Homer's story, Nolan's commitment to ambitious filmmaking, and an ensemble cast capable of giving the epic a human center, the result is an experience that feels genuinely designed for the big screen. The biggest weakness of the Odyssey is that its enormous ambition occasionally creates an emotional distance between the audience and the characters. The movie is constantly dealing with enormous ideas, legendary events, and breathtaking spectacle, and that can sometimes make the smaller emotional moments feel less powerful in comparison. Even with a talented ensemble, the sheer size of the story means that not every character receives the same level of development, and some viewers may find themselves wishing certain performances and relationships had more time to breathe. Nolan's filmmaking style will not appeal equally to everyone, particularly viewers who prefer their mythology to be more playful, emotionally direct, or traditionally fantastical. The movie's seriousness and scale are part of what makes it unique, but they can also make certain moments feel more intellectually impressive than emotionally overwhelming. The Odyssey is essential viewing for Christopher Nolan fans, lovers of epic filmmaking, audiences interested in mythology, and anyone who believes movies should still feel like major theatrical events. Fans of films like Interstellar, Dunkirk, and Oppenheimer will likely appreciate Nolan's attention to scale, practical filmmaking, and larger philosophical ideas, while fans of the cast have plenty of reasons to be curious about how this enormous ensemble comes together. Viewers looking for a simple, lightweight adventure may find the film more demanding, but audiences willing to invest in its world, performances, and themes will likely find a much richer experience.
So after everything, what ranking am I going to give this movie on the cinema experience scale? I'm going to say that Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey earns a must-experience rating. This is the kind of movie that should be experienced in a theater, preferably on the biggest screen available, because watching it at home risks reducing something designed to feel enormous into something much smaller. This is an ambitious, visually stunning, and deeply cinematic adaptation of one of the oldest stories in human history, and it proves that ancient mythology can still feel fresh when placed in the hands of a filmmaker willing to take enormous creative risks. The movie may not be perfect, and its scale occasionally comes at the expense of emotional intimacy, but its ambition, spectacle, ensemble cast, performances, and timeless themes make it an experience worth seeking out.
The Odyssey is not simply a movie about a man trying to return home. It's a reminder of why stories survive thousands of years in the first place. The journey may be ancient, but on the biggest screen possible, it feels like it has just begun. But that's my take. Now I want to hear from you. Have you seen The Odyssey? Did it live up to the hype? Also, what's your favorite Christopher Nolan film? Drop all your thoughts in the comments section below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified of future videos. Be sure to check out my review on the live-action Moana movie, or you can check out my review on the Minions and Monster movie. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.